Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome to the Visionary Leaders Collective podcast. I'm Aisha Harley, and I am thrilled to be your host and one of the visionary founders. Mariana, can you mute everybody? Join us every Monday at 10 a.m. Pacific time for enlightening conversations that delve deep into wellness and harness the transformative power of doTERRA essential oils. In case you've missed an episode, you can catch up on YouTube, Apple Podcast, or Spotify. Stay connected with us at www.hellovisionary.life. And don't forget to subscribe to our newsletter, text reminders, and if you feel inclined, please leave us a review. We really appreciate it. Today marks the second week of the Spring into Summer Wellness Reset. Dr. Josie is going to guide us through phase 2 of our protocol, and we will then open up the call for Q&A. So Dr. Josie, I'm going to pass it on over to you.
All right. Thank you, Aisha. Hi, everyone. How are we doing? It is spring. It's full spring here in Portland. We got all of the pollen out. We got our people's allergies are starting to kind of say hello. Um, there's so much after the eclipse. I've heard story after story of people like just in different states of understanding their exhaustion, accepting it, surrendering, like coming into new habits and boundaries and protocols. We really wanted to set up this reset to be supporting this phase because a lot gets churned up. It's this new sprouting shoots energy. There's new energy. People want to start looking at things, uncovering things, working with them. And then you get hit with like pollen and allergies, and you have no energy whatsoever to do this stuff that you just got motivated to like want to work with. Is that where you are? Or tell us. So I'm going to quickly, we have a slide. I'm going to go over this next step because we kind of started slow into this support reset phase. We wanted to be laying a foundation that's not too difficult, that can be something that's going to help every system to have all of that nourishment and nutrients to be working with clearing and cleaning out, brushing away, clearing off the winter, getting ready for this energy, getting ready to support your immune system for the onset of all this pollen. And that's where you are. And we're going to go into the full phase this week. And then we're just going to talk about all of this stuff. So it's not that different from the beginning. We're just kind of moving into a little bit more of things. So the first thing we're staying steady with is we're calling it a drink, is having one recharge minimum daily. And you can add in the PB Assist Plus. This is what it looks like. Ooh, got it. I had mine open. So I have my recharge right here that I'm drinking. And what I've been doing is if I'm not out and about, if I'm going to be home during the day, if I'm out and about, I put it in my big 20-ounce water bottle. If I'm home, I divide it between two of these glasses and I kind of just eyeball it and I put half of the recharge in and then I save the other half for my next glass of water because it's so darn yummy. I don't want to do it all in one. I want to kind of have it in another glass. You can do it in one. Now, you could add this into here, but this is like a yummy treat. I'm going to give you guys a thing. I'm actually watching my glucose this week, these 2 weeks. I got gifted a continuous glucose monitor. And so we're going to do it right now. I had a little bit of greens for breakfast and yeah, my glucose is at about 97. I'm going to take this under my tongue is the other way you can do it. You can do it in your drink or you can just do it under the tongue as part of the, and let's see over the next 15 minutes and 30 minutes, what happens to my blood sugar as I do this. This is the kind of nerdy stuff I do all day. I'm watching my blood sugar. It's so much fun. I'm like in a movie all day. I love it. Okay. So that's that first drink. Let it sit there. It tastes like a pixie stick, but no real sugars. I love it. Okay. Second, moving up to a full dose of the LLV, Lifelong Vitality Pack. Some people were just starting with doTERRA and they split a pack of the LLV with a friend. That's great. Stay there for this whole recharge. That's fine. That's how we'll do it a lot for that first month when people are just starting on the Lifelong Vitality Pack. But if you're ready to go up to a full dose, you're going to do that now. So what that looks like is 3 bottles in the Lifelong Vitality Pack. And that means 4 capsules from each of those 3 bottles. You can choose to take them all at once, like my hubby partner who just did, that's the only way he's going to get it in. He's 1 chance a day. And there's no 2 times. No, that's not going to happen. If that's you, great, do it all at once. If you can do it in divided doses and do it AM and lunch or AM or close to dinner, PM, that's a little better, but either way is good, is great. So go up to that full dose of LLV if that's feeling right. If you haven't had any, and that's something, questions to ask when we go into Q&A if you're not sure if you're ready. So we can ask those questions. Now we're going to move into, remember the Symphony of the Cells. If you're just doing the Meta Power oil and the Zendocrine oil, you're going to stay with that. You can kind of switch the order of them and play around with that if you want. But if you've only been doing it once a day, go up to twice a day. Do it in the morning and the evening. Now, if you're working with the introductory Symphony of the Cells, they break that. It's the top 10 or the introductory oils. They actually break it up. Here's the pamphlet about this. They break it up into 2 different ones. And so we started last week with intro 1, which highlighted the digestion. And now I'm suggesting you trial and go to intro 2, which highlights a little bit more of the respiration. And so instead of the Digest Zen, you're working with Breathe, and it's a few of the different oils, but it's still those 10 beginner oils that we always suggest every household should start using and working with. So that's intro 2. If you're not familiar, we'll have a meme up in the Facebook group, but quickly it's frankincense and then coconut oil and then melaleuca or tea tree, lavender, the respiratory blend, which is Breathe, oregano, the soothing blend, which is Deep Blue, and peppermint. So that is the sequence of the number 2 introductory symphony.
Great
Okay.
for allergies too.
Exactly, right? So that's how we played it. So thank you, Asha. We can talk into that. If you're having allergies,
your policy does provide rental and or
someone just there you go. Thank you. Yep. So if you're having allergies, this is what, let's talk about that later. You're going to want to do this more than once a day. And there's some other things you can do. There's some shortcuts as well to support all through the day. So I think let's really go into that. Now, the next thing is the MetaPower. Remember we started out and I said 2 to 3 drops, 2 to 3 times a day, and you have the oil. You're doing that with the oil under your tongue. But if you have the gel caps, you can alternate between the gel caps and the oil for your doses. The high dose, the like, now we're moving into that. If you want to move into the high dose for really shifting metabolism and getting some weight transformation shifts, if that is what your body is needing, then you want to move up towards that 5 drops 5 times a day level and alternating in between the gel caps and the MetaPower oil. So here the range is 2 to 5 drops, 2 to 5 times a day. And if you want to have those goals, you want to go up to 5 drops 5 times a day with either the oil and or the gel caps. Now, for those who are on the alternate program, they're just going to stay steady with what we've been doing with the recharge, these things. And oh, we left out the most important thing, Aisha. We did this yesterday. We put this in. So the big deal, the alternate program staying with the recharge, the PB assist, the 2 tabs of the A to Z, Terrazyme 5 times a day, MetaPower plus Zendocrine on the feet. And you're just kind of going to stay steady with that. If you feel like you want to explore into something, you can with that's on the other list. But the big deal is we're also, besides moving these things up, we're adding in the Advantage. We forgot that on our list, right? I know, Aisha's laughing. So see that orange, the big orange packet, the Meta PWR Advantage. This is the NMN precursors. I'm sorry, the NAD precursors, which are NMN and NADH plus all the 9 forms of highly 70% tripeptide absorbable collagen, all packed with then 7 other incredible high-level antioxidants into one little package called Meta PWR Advantage. We're going to start that drink, if you haven't already, today as well. And we're going to call that drink number 2. And the way you do that is we've been highlighting, I think we're going to be adding more on the Facebook page. You take your packet and you really do want to take it away from food and drink and other things. And so let's talk, we'll kind of move from the protocol. Let's first talk about Advantage, and then we can move into allergies. And any questions people have about moving into the full dose of the LLV. But the Advantage is really best taken by itself, not combined with other things. You don't want to put it in a smoothie with other stuff. If this is the only way you're getting it in, then yes, do it. Remember that concept I love is good, better, best. So when people hear, oh, I have to take it alone, but it's not happening. My day's too busy. And they end up not taking it. That's not good. So what is good is to take it in your smoothie, right? There's a better and a best above that, but not taking it doesn't, if you can't get in the better and the best versions of taking it by itself away from food, not taking it is not better than taking it in the smoothie. Does that make sense to everyone? The good, better, best principle? Okay. So it's just it's best absorbed. The highest absorption is happening if you have an empty stomach and if you're taking it away from other food. Okay. So, and the idea is in about 3 to 4 ounces of water. So not a big glass of stuff and just kind of drinking it slowly. We want to activate it by putting it in the water, and you want a vigorous stir. Best is either shaking it in a closed container or having a stir stick and stirring it very vigorously. You can stir it with a spoon really vigorously, but that's back at good. There is a better and a best, okay? But if that's all you got, like I was traveling and stuff and I didn't have my stir stick and everything, and I just stirred it vigorously. It's fine, okay. But you want to activate all of the ingredients. There are some encapsulated, especially the NAD plus is encapsulated. It's in that, it's with with chlorophyll, and it's green, and you'll see it and it looks a little black specks. That's actually one of the precursors for the NMN, and that's part of that activation. And then part of drinking it quickly and getting it in is it's a little unstable. So they have it stabilized, you're putting it in the water, you're opening it up, and then you want to get it in. You don't want to let it sit and kind of drink it slowly. So there's reasons for the why of doing the things. And so I like when I take it is I bring it to my workout, which is usually today, it's 8 to 9. On Wednesday and Friday, it's 9 to 10. And I have a little special water bottle that's a closed top, and I fill it half with about 4 ounces of water. And then I bring my packet with me. And at the end, at the 9:50 mark, 9:45, right when we're going into warm down, I run over, I open up my packet, I put it in the water, I shake it really vigorously, and I do my warm down for about 7 minutes, and then I go and I drink it. That's when I take it. I have taken it, sometimes I take it before. And then if I miss that zone, I'll take it in the afternoon when there isn't much going on. There's a lot of different aspects about that, about taking it, the when and the where, who you are, what your body's like, what your age is. So are we ready? People can unmute themselves. Let's look at questions and let's move on to the chat. I know Aisha loves talking about Meta PWR and all of the ins and the outs. If you're new to it, there's a lot that happens in the first, I would say, 3 weeks to taking Meta PWR Advantage. Your whole system is really shifting in some very interesting ways. And so I would say it's very different for different people. So we don't need to, but it's kind of like you want to stay open in that first month of taking Meta Power, that your digestion, your metabolism, things like that could be different. And then they kind of quiet down. So,
Dr. Josie,
yeah,
I would love to give MetaPower a little bit of a plug before we open it up to
do it.
Q&A. And I think Asha might have had something she wanted to share as well, so we could check in with her. I, on the Facebook group, am going to post a video. It's under 10 minutes, and it's really worth your time to watch it. So I will post that after the call, and it's going to give you a really good overview of what MetaPower is. MetaPower is not, and I'm talking about the Advantage, the collagen packet, the one that we're adding today. MetaPower is not just another collagen packet. Raise your hand if you've actually been taking collagen powder. I know it's pretty popular. I've been taking collagen powder for years. And I don't know that I've noticed anything that spectacular from taking it. And I've learned a lot in this last year since this product has come out. A lot of collagens that are on the market are bovine based. A lot of them, actually, you have to be very mindful, can have glyphosate in them, which is the very bad chemical from Monsanto that gets sprayed onto crops, that gets eaten by the beef, that gets into the tissues of the animal, that then translates into the collagen. So if your collagen is not tested, you could, without knowing it, be ingesting glyphosate, and none of us need more of that. It's cancer causing, it's very toxic, and it's really dangerous for our systems. The collagen in our product is marine based. It also is offering 9 types of collagen. So, sure, we think of collagen because we want our skin to remain beautiful and lush and firm, but the collagen is going to help support all different types of tissues in the body. We lose collagen as we age. So pretty much from our early 20s on, we start to lose collagen production. If you are a female, which I think we don't have any men on this call, and you are in the perimenopausal, menopausal state or postmenopause state of life, collagen is really important. It's important for our joints. We lose this collagen, and so like arthritis, knee issues, all of these kind of creaky things that start to happen in our bodies, a part of that is the loss of collagen. Okay, so that's the collagen part, but the other part about this product that is really the game changer is it has a bunch of other ingredients in them. I don't have time to go into all of them, but I want to highlight just a couple, and that is the NADH, which is a precursor, or excuse me, yeah, is that right, Dr. Josie? The NADH is a
Yes.
precursor for the NAD plus. Now, I had no idea what NAD plus was a year and a half ago, and not many people do. So if you're like, I have no idea, that's totally okay. I highly recommend doing some of your own research on NAD plus, and I'm going to just give you my little simple, I'm not the doctor in the group, but my little simple layman's explanation of NAD plus. Um, the discovery of this molecule that exists in our cells is, they are saying, one of the greatest discoveries for like the kind of anti-aging, and also equivalent to the discovery of antibiotics. So it's a really big deal. It's a molecule in all of our cells. Without it, we would pretty much die instantly. Like, it's critical. Like collagen, as we age, our NAD plus levels decline. And so it's like the driver for the cell to help that cell do whatever that cell needs to do. So if that cell is growing hair, or for the skin, or for the heart, or whatever that cell's job is, it's like the energy production to help that. So when we take the precursor to help your body on its own create more, we actually create kind of an anti-aging effect in the body. So this is affecting our organs, our tissues, our brain, our heart health. It's literally like rejuvenating your whole entire system. Now, this is not something that happens in a couple of days. This is not a product that you're going to maybe take 1 or 2 days and go, oh my gosh. I mean, some of our oils, some of our products, you see like an immediate result from them. And so I've literally had people like take the product for a week and go, I don't really notice anything, and they stop. So it takes your body time to regenerate these the NAD plus levels, and they have shown that that begins to rise. And if you then take this on an ongoing basis, you literally, your whole body is going to be regenerated. Now, unfortunately, the bad news is if you go off of it for a long period of time, your body, the levels are going to begin to decline. So I highly recommend staying consistent with this and like take a photo of your face, take your measurements, take some notes about yourself because you can begin to change. If you can, we've had people go and get blood work. um, you might not see the impact of it externally, but you will start to see it internally. I just even took a photo of my face when I started taking it, and 4 months later, I was pretty blown away by the difference. It helped me shed some of the like menopause belly fat, and I'm just listening to this podcast with Dr. Hyman about how visceral belly fat, which many of us struggle with, is very detrimental to our health. It leads to heart health, diabetes. It really is something that if you have excess belly fat, it's kind of like a ticket to greater health problems. So it's something, and if you again are in this menopausal kind of older stage of life, that does really become a battle. So this is something that can really help with that metabolic balance and help bring that into balance. Anyway, I know I've been rambling here for a while. As you can see, I'm very passionate about this topic. So really just take it and don't stop taking it, and know that it's doing really, really good things for you. And then check out the video that I'm going to post on the page and we can talk a little bit more about it.
Great. Thank you, Aisha. I know it is one of the things that's a little more difficult to speak about and identify, but so many of us who have been taking it, and I would say you really want to take it for 3 months to get to that threshold of its effects, and then noticing all of us like 3 months, 6 months, 9 months differences and shifts.
Dr. Josie, really quick. So many of us have been taking it for a little over a year. And when we went back to convention last year, and I saw several of our team members that I hadn't seen in a year that had been taking it for a year, I was blown away by their radiance and like the loss of inflammation in their bodies and hair growth, and like almost like just seeing this like reversal in just everything about them. So you really do see it in people that take it for the long term.
So Florence and Linda are asking in the meeting, I think there's been a misunderstanding that asking about what are the blood tests that show NADH or NMN levels. There aren't. So there are, they've recommended different things you can do in your basic blood work that shows, we call them indirect markers of aging, and inflammation is one of the biggest. And so kind of the most basic inflammation marker would be CRP, C-reactive protein. And add, if that's not in your basic metabolic panel, so you get your CBC, which is your blood panel, it's all your blood cells, and then the metabolic is looking at the different things. Make sure that there's that, and that's a good it's a general indicator of like aging and general inflammation in the body. I think that's the one that they recommended, Dr. O, or do you guys remember? Anything else besides the CRP? Anywho, there's that. Um,
And there's a question about the NADH and the NMN. I didn't mention the NMN, so the Advantage, I do want to clarify, has both, and they are both the precursors to help your body create the NAD plus.
yeah, what I like to point out to people is that there's competitors on the market. There's NR and there's NMN, are the two big precursors to NAD. And it's, if you think about, like, here's NAD, they come in this way, similar but parallel pathways, the NR and the NMN, and there's just differences, slight differences about them. And doTERRA chose the NMN. They thought it was more effective and safer than the NR, and some other companies have NR. The NADH is coming in this way. So you can think about it as like a different pathway and a backdoor one. So it's a post or precursor, but it's coming from the opposite direction. It's coming from a different way. So they're actually feeding the NAD production from two really different directions, which is great. It's much better than just giving it one. So I love that. I want to highlight that for people.
Doesn't this also boost mitochondrial health and energy? And
Yes.
a lot of
They're
people
like,
are reporting clarity, mental clarity as well.
yeah, so NAD and mitochondria are kind of like BFFs, right? They're really linked in that they're the two things you really want to think about when you think about energy in the body, whether it's physical energy, whether it's mental energy, it's kind of metabolic energy. And I am extremely excited about, because I've had definite boosts with the Advantage in my physical and my mental clarity. And now they have reworked the Mito 2 Max formula. Have you guys heard about that with doTERRA to really amp it up in a non-caffeine and, synthetic, none of those kind of ways of helping to amp and boost our energy, but highest level ingredients for the mitochondria. So that is going to be a partner product that you're going to want to bring in with the Advantage, is the Mito 2 Max. All right.
Which all of these can be very helpful for people who have had long COVID, for example.
Yeah, I'd like to say that for folks with long COVID, or if you're really working on feeling, trying to get your energy levels back up, yesterday I just took Mito 2 Max, Deep Blue, and the Advantage, and I worked in the garden for 5 hours. And it was sunny, and was doing some pretty hard work, and I am someone who is still trying to recover from long COVID, so I definitely have noticed a huge shift in my energy levels from the days I take it and the days I don't. So if you're looking for more energy, keep doing this protocol and keep it up after our cleanse. Keep those products after our cleanse because they work really well.
I just want to piggyback on that because I also had long COVID. And a year ago, when I started taking this, is when I started playing pickleball. I actually had the energy to do more cardiovascular exercise, which has been just wonderful all around. And since I'm on here, I just want to make a plug for staying really consistent with your protocols and your hydration. So the recharge, especially making sure that you're getting enough of, at least one serving of the recharge electrolytes and another full thing, at least, of water. This is really going to help all the pathways and the reset do its best work. So I just wanted to put that out there as a reminder. And
And I wanted to add to that, Asha, speaking of long COVID, there's a study coming out, especially with younger people in their 20s, but older people too, where sometimes they get POTS, which is like a circulatory problem throughout their body, and it can affect your blood pressure. And the number one recommendation for that is electrolytes and more salt intake. And so, also, just for people's information, we have had an old school training that you shouldn't have too much salt. High sodium isn't good for you. And so when you're looking at these electrolytes, just remember that that is what electrolytes are, is it's more salt so our body can have more water. So we want it in this form. And if you're one of those people, then you can just actually increase your electrolyte uptake. There was a question in our feed earlier that was like, is it okay to take 2 of them a day? Definitely. Sometimes I take 3, or if I have a sauna, if I'm doing a workout, if I'm sweating a lot, if it's super hot, take more of the electrolytes.
All right. Did I send you guys? I sent some of you. Aisha, should I try and post I can send you in the feed. Marilyn's asking, why did they remove the ashwagandha from Mito 2? I forget that Hilary LeMay did this adorable, wonderful video on the new Mito 2 Max formula, and she covers that. They were making room for better ingredients, basically, and it is somewhere else. Wait, let's so we can post that, and I recommend everyone to watch it. It's super fun. So, and what else is in, people want to ask, do we want to, so Julie is asking about GI intolerance with Meta Power for, I guess, someone she's working with, and they sounds like a situation that's outside the bell curve, that is someone who is also having difficulty even tolerating the recharge. So either there's an ingredient. I know that ginseng, this is something is in make note that ginseng is in the recharge. So if there's anybody who has a problem with ginseng, or if it's contraindicated in, we had this come up with someone who has a very rare, extreme autoimmune condition, and it's known that ginseng is contraindicated for that. And so the recharge was causing issues for her. So sometimes there's just a single ingredient that is something for somebody. And I call that outside the bell curve, i.e., it's not the normal everybody. It's like you have an allergy to an ingredient in the thing, and it's just not going to work for you. Now, there is some GI disturbance, or I call it kind of remodeling, that can happen with the Advantage. So it would really be like, what is this person's history? Do they have, what kind of issues do they have? Do they have GI stuff? Is their GI system delicate? Whatever. So that's the kind of stuff, without more specifically going into that. I'm not sure. What we have seen is, and doTERRA has seen, and doTERRA is indicated for people over 65, is like, so basically if you're older, that it can be a lot, that it's a lot of on the system. It's like asking it to do too much spring cleaning at once, in a sense. And so people can get really tired initially in that older than 65 group taking it. And so they advise to take it in the evening for people over 65. And you can be having, maybe you do have some metabolic issues. I have metabolic issues. And when I first started taking Advantage, it made me exhausted. And so for the first about 6 weeks, I took it at night, and that worked really well, helped me sleep, and I could tolerate it. I noticed stomach fullness, and like it definitely works in terms of your satiation levels and helping you with that. And you can not want as much food, and your stomach you can feel more full. And there can be a little bit for the first 1 to 3 weeks turnover in the stomach. But if it's beyond that, if it's beyond a little bit of changing of your bowel movements, that kind of a thing, then yeah, you want to talk to the person you're working with and see it could be something that's beyond that, and they need to go more slowly, take it at night, or work with other things first. A lot of the times I say this is a more advanced product. It's doing so much, but sometimes you want to go back to the basics, which is the LLV. And I would say the recharge. The recharge is one of those foundational, if there's not an issue with the ingredients, with the LLV. And I even have an alternate program. Some people, they've had their gallbladder removed, their digestion is pretty disordered. We have a lot of that in America. It's very common with our diet, with the way we our stress, the way we live our lives, and the way we eat. And so for many people, even starting with the LLV is too much, called too much, too soon, too fast. And they need to go on the alternate protocol, which we also have. Can we pull those slides, Aisha, from, I would love to pull my alternate protocol slides and put them up again for everyone to see on the Facebook page, because it's how you start and work someone up for 1 to 3 months before the LLV, if the LLV is asking their body to do too much, too soon, too fast, which is common. And I tell you, I've worked with many, many people that they don't tolerate even a quarter dose. So 1 pill of each of them, and then we pull them back, we do the alternate protocol, and then we start them on a quarter dose of the LLV and work them slowly up to a half, 3/4, full dose. And they're great, and it changes their lives. But you have to go slow. So we
And
want
it works. Remember, I was very Joe's in the beginning. I had sensitivities and those are gone.
Asha did, yep. Asha had to she went back and worked with the alternate protocol and went slowly, and it really helped kind of just a big transition and move right with your whole digestion.
Is this what you wanted, Jose, or did you want the original slide?
Oh, I was thinking about my original slides back from some of my older presentations that
It's on the website.
Oh, okay.
it is. So if everyone on the Visionary Leaders page, we have a whole page dedicated to the Lifelong Vitality Pack with me doing a long, I think it's like 2 hours. Back in the day when people had attention span for a 2-hour lecture, here I was, woo, delivering. Anywho, I know. Think about that now. And people think we haven't changed. So there's that, but there's also I have the alternate protocol with some beautiful memes made up by probably Aisha and Asha and stuff about that. And so you can check there and really look into that. That's on our Visionary Leaders, hellovisionary.life
And
website.
as you said, really work
LLV.
with the person who invited you to, though.
Yeah.
They'll know the alternative protocol, and they'll help you. Don't stop, just adjust it for you.
Yeah, I just want to talk about that for a second. We live in such a fast-paced world now where there's so much opportunity on the Amazon, the website, for like, buy this, try that, squirrel. And people have losing the patience to be patient. It's an art. And I'll tell you, the body doesn't work that way. People are coming to us at 40, 50, 60, 70 years old, and their entire metabolism, systems, digestion are incredibly disordered if they've been eating any resemblance to the standard American diet and living any resemblance to the stress bomb of a lifestyle that we generally live here in America. And so to just expect everyone to be like, yeah, you can go on Advantage and LLV and all this kind of stuff, that's a lot for a system who has some that's already having a few diagnoses or a few issues or a few medications. So slow and steady wins the race, and you just want to be slow and steady, and it pays off in the end, I promise you. That's my little my soap stand.
There is a question here from Marilyn.
Yeah.
Why should 65 plus take the Advantage at night? I know you addressed it. I just missed the reason. Because it might make you sleepy. And
If it's not, if you're already taking it, because I think you are, Marilyn, if it's not making you sleepy, then it's fine. You're good. It's more like anyone. I am not 65 and it was making me sleepy. And so I did that for the first 6 weeks to 2 months. So did my partner. And then we were slow and steady and we transitioned and I did a cleanse. I did the doTERRA cleanse but so what I did is I took it as a signal. It's like, whoa, this is telling me that my system needs some support. I need to work on some things. It's sluggish. It's tired. This thing, the NAD is making me tired. Why is it making me tired? It's asking my cells to like turn over and make new cells and to start anew. I mean, it's like, you know how tiring it is to do spring cleaning. You got to have some support. You got to bring over some friends before you really start to like go out the rugs and all that kind of stuff. So if you start doing that and you're basically have no support and you'd have nothing to eat in the house, you're going to be exhausted. That's what's happening. So I took the time to do a cleanse and to really shift some habits and get to a different place. And then I started it in the morning again and it felt good. So it's really about that.
Dr. Josie, there's a question from Florence. I'll read it for people that are on Facebook. On the intermittent fasting dose, does MetaPower recharge as well as MetaPower Advantage? Should it be a concern during the fast?
I don't know about.
That's a great question.
Yeah, I have my oh, my glucose monitor. Hey, let's look and see what's been going on. Hold on, everyone.
Well, Josie's checking that. Of course, I am not a medical doctor, but I do intermittent fasting and have for 5 years. And it's not sweetened with a sweetener, but there is an alternative sweetener in there. And I do believe if you took that in the morning, it would probably knock you out of ketosis. That's just my thought. It needs to be researched or asked by someone.
I think they have talked about it. You'd have to find it in doTERRA because a lot of doTERRA people at corporate and higher levels do intermittent fasting. And so that was a concern in the beginning. I mean, technically it's a protein. So proteins will knock you out of ketosis. So in that sense, I think I think I remember the question is like a little bit, but it's a pretty good way to start eating to have that. So if you want to save it towards having it at the end of your fast and and having it half an hour before you're going or an hour before you're going to eat and kind of bringing your body back out, I would think that would be a really good way to do it. So well, my blood sugar is 104. I don't know. So it didn't raise it, the PB assist.
What was it before, Jose?
It was about that. So, I'm learning, I'm right in the middle of learning some good lessons that I've known, but I'm learning much more subtleties. And yeah.
Dr.
gonna-
Josie?
Oh, go
Oh,
ahead.
go ahead, Asha.
I was just gonna say, someone on our team, Nora Zeinen, had shared about in the spring transition with the pollen and everything that cilantro can be very helpful if you're someone who deals with seasonal issues. Cilantro in a gel cap taken internally cilantro on the bottoms of the feet, but I'm also going to plug zendocrine oil on the bottoms of the feet during this time of resetting and soft cleansing. I think we just want to give our body every advantage, no pun intended, for eliminating things that are not serving us. And so those are a couple other things with the essential oils that could be helpful to you.
Thank you. Dr. Josie, there's a question from Julie. How long does the GI reset take for most persons?
Yes. So does everyone see in the chat? I just shared an Instagram thing. That is the Hillary LeMay video she had on Instagram about the new Mito 2 Max formula, and it's about 10 minutes, and it is fantastic and really fun. She makes it incredibly fun to learn about. So if you want to know why they took out ashwagandha and put in PQP and some other things, that's a great one to watch there. What was the last one?
The question was, how long does it take for, I guess, most people's gut to reset?
What do you guys, I would say like people had a little bit of disturbance and the ups and the downs. I felt like in our group, what I was seeing most was about 3 weeks to a month. Would you agree? Everyone, can you remember back when everyone was first taking advantage after convention? A lot of people for the first, I would say 1 to 2 weeks, they were kind of like, oh, my poops are different, I'm having it's just different, it's moving, I'm noticing, feeling full, things, and then after about 3 weeks, for most people it quieted down, it got into a rhythm. So I'd say that's the average.
I noticed when I took it that I had a lot more energy, and it was within the first week or two. So I felt like I had a pretty quick result when I started taking it.
Yeah. Do we want to talk about allergy season for people? Anything you can do to support your liver, cleansing, in your immune system is going to help. You want to decrease and lessen the load that your body is dealing with so it can handle the allergies. And I'm going back up in the feed. Aisha shared some of our great pearls. Her tip was, we love using shot glasses. You can use any glass, but just get a little shot glass out and put in like a little bit, half up with water. And then you can add drops of oils and you just take it down. And you can do that if you're having an attack. I have a tree that's trying to kill me next door. I mean, it's in the arbutus family. It's just terrible. When that thing is about to get going, I'm gonna be like dying. When you're in that zone where your eyes and you're just like, you need to take that shot glass every 15 minutes for about a day. And then what's interesting is if you do it it's like you're loading. It's a loading dose. You're doing it for a day. And then the day 2, you're doing it every half hour. Day 3, every hour. You get the picture till you're only doing it about 3 to 4 times a day. Lemon, lavender, peppermint is the original trio, but people do different. And the 2 others besides lemon, lavender, and peppermint are Melaleuca tea tree and or cilantro, actually. And Dr. Will Wan, he has a great formula. When he lived in Portland, he suffered from great allergies. Now that he lives in Colorado Springs, he has no allergies. So it's a thing in Portland. But his one was lavender, lemon, peppermint, tea tree, and cilantro, all 5 of them, in a shot glass, like every half hour. And then you titer it down. You can do them in gel caps. And what are other pearls? I mean, we have the Triese gel caps. So that's one where when you're home, you can do the shots. When you're out and about, you start taking the Triese. Honestly, besides doing that and closing the windows and diffusing and filtering the air, the best thing is preventative, is working your way. The more years you are on the LLV, the Advantage, and now the Recharge, and the more years you actually do the doTERRA cleanse twice a year, you will see your allergy reactivity going down. That's what I said. The more you take away that the body has to be fighting and dealing against, the more space it has to handle the affront of like an arbutus tree. So, oh, I, I got a I got a thumbs up from the thing. So it's really about that lowering your overall body tolerance in a global way, and then using the oils in that, that systematic way in just during the day to help you get through. And I love putting them in my hand and again, just rubbing it and smelling it. Breathe is great. That's easy one to carry around. Breathe it in. Asha's all right. Like, yep, keep using your Zendocrine, the bottoms of your feet. What else? Trays is on sale this month. Yeah.
I want to give a plug too to Supermint. Supermint is
Ah.
fantastic for opening up the airways. It's actually a great blend for the summer, for hot flashes, to cool your body down. It's a great oil for travel. And
It is.
I also just want to just reinforce this one point quickly, because I hear this a lot and I think it's so critically important. And it always kind of breaks my heart when someone will start using one of these products, whether it's the LLV or the Advantage, and then let's use the example of they get the runs. Nobody likes getting the runs, right? And then they're like, I'm not going to take it. Like, this isn't working for me. My body's having a bad reaction. And rather than being curious and realizing that is valuable information, and that is giving you information about something being off in your system that you can then address and begin to heal and to begin to work through. I've seen people throw in the towel so quickly when the slightest thing gets uncomfortable. Sometimes as your body is detoxing, is all, changing, you might feel more tired, you might get the runs, you might even have a little facial breakout, but that is all an indicator, that is all information. And as we work through that and get to the other side of it, we are then like opening up our body to better health and to longevity. And so just keep that in mind if you face that yourself. And it might mean that you go back to a half dose of the LLV, or you cut back on things, but typically it doesn't mean you should just stop altogether. And this is also why it's important to work with the person that has invited you, to ask us questions. So if you're feeling like, oh, something's going on here, let's get curious about it and let's understand why, and then navigate through it so you can get to the other side of it.
I wanted to just make a plug to also for when Josie was talking about seasonal allergies and things like that. Such a basic protocol is especially the lavender touch right over the nose and over the cheekbones and over in the sinuses above the eyebrows. It is such a strong antihistamine, the lavender. And our lavender, they have done a lot of studies. It varies less than, I think it's 1 or 2%. It's like pharmaceutical grade quality. So
Yes.
it's a strong antihistamine and it works well. So the gargle shot glass, gargle and swallow plus the topical, even better.
Absolutely. So we are almost at the top of the hour. Dr. Josie, will you give us a little overview of what we have coming next week? Because we have a very exciting call next Monday.
We have our very own Anne Caroline Flock coming. Again, she graced us on Visionary Leaders with face yoga before. And I think we had one of the largest calls we've had in a really long time. She comes and we'll post the oils that we want you to be working with. I'm not sure, so I need to ask her what she would like people to be working with their face. But she teaches wonderful ways to be working in yoga and kind of like gentle or face gua sha and yoga. She calls it face yoga with the oils for rejuvenating all of your face, your tissues, your skin, but working with a lot of the points also for detoxification as well. So she's going to be coming and working us through a whole different sequence, and that's going to be super juicy and fun. So definitely do not miss that next week.
And we also have Diane Del Reyes, licensed acupuncture and creator of Alcu Oil Alchemy. And
Oh,
she's,
Diane is coming. Are they working together?
yes, yes, yes,
Oh,
yes.
I'm sorry. I blew that one. Oh, that's going to be incredible. So they have worked together for a long time. They do wonderful synergy. It's going to be really great to be bringing in Diane with her alchemy. So she is going to be teaching definitely about points that are going to be helping for all different types of things, but definitely for detox. So definitely join us.
Perfect. I will post the updated protocol for this week on the Facebook page shortly. Please go in. If you look at the featured post at the top, there is a welcome post. And we would love for you, if you have not posted your goals for the month, to put your goals there. Your goals are more likely to actually for you to stick with them if you share them with somebody. And even if your goal is to just drink more water or walk more, whatever it is, whatever works for you, we would love to see you share that on the page. And then every Sunday, I will be putting a post up for a weekly check-in. And this is a great place to ask questions that we can then address on the calls. Let us know how you're doing. Just check in. We love to hear from you. I know that um, you do need to probably go into the group and look for the post because of the Facebook algorithm. They might not be coming through your feed. And so we do have that challenge. So if you are participating in our program, we ask that you just check in. I'm also posting some extra information about our products and some tips. And we would love to hear from you on that group page so we know you're with us. Okay, thank you, everyone. As always, thank you, Dr. Josie and Asha and Ariana and everybody who contributed today. We love you all so much. Excited for you to all start taking your advantage, and we'll look forward to seeing you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.